Hello everyone, welcome to the Bank of Dad channel. I'm Greg. I'm here to entertain, show you ways to do travel better, how to do your career better, things that I've learned, financing better. I want to be dad advice. If you're out there and you need some dad advice or just some good old information, I'm here to help. It seems like everybody enjoyed the video yesterday on how to save money on travel. And I do want to change it up and go for different things, travel some days, finance some days, my career some days. I do enjoy teaching. I'm a teacher at heart. So do hit the like button, subscribe button. You need to keep getting the message out there. I want to make content and I want people to learn from it, and that'll keep me motivated. So I want to talk about what I did in my career. I did sales for 34 years. Started out selling door to door basically in my early 20s, selling plastic housewares, and then moving to a regional sales manager job, to a national sales manager job, to vice president of sales, to owning my own company. And I sold anything from the plastic storage I'm talking about to baby products, to other consumer electronics products, flashlights and walkie-talkie radios. I sold a lot of different products over the years. And I wanted to discuss what I see as a great career. And if you asked me in my teens or 20s when I wanted to do that type of job, I would have said, no, I can't sell. I'm more of an introvert. I'm not an extrovert at all. But it ended up being great for me. It's a job where you can work on commission, which gives you unlimited amount of money you can make. There's no level of what you can make. It's going to be up to you and how hard you want to work and the type of relationships you build. So I want to go over what I see as the 5 behaviors of successful people in sales. And this is from my experience. You may be something different if you're a sales professional. And this is really to the younger people out there, if they want to get into sales, like what I saw, what I see that worked and worked for me. So I'm going to start with number 5 and work my way down to number 1. So number 5 on my list is being on time and prepared. This sounds simple, but it can be a challenge for so many. And I saw it in my career over and over again. And my old saying is, if you're on time, you're late. One of my questions when American Airlines was interviewing me was, what are your biggest weaknesses? And it was that I'm consistently early to everything. It's just in my DNA. And I still to this day, it drives my family nuts, everybody nuts. If I'm supposed to be there at 2, I'm there at 1:45 minimum, maybe 1:30, but it's just the way I am. But it serves me well, in this type of business. And you got to understand that your customer's time is valuable. The other customer, you're not. They may be 2 hours late, and you need to be able to take that on the chin because you're there for them and you're there to serve them. So that part, you got to make sure you understand that as well. I've known many people in the past that like to come in, like we have a meeting, they'll fly in the day of. I don't recommend that. I always go the day before. This gives you a chance, if there's a weather delay, cancellations, type of problems with travel. Also gives you time to get set up and ready, get your presentations done, make sure your samples are there and they work. So being on time, preparing, and not waiting for the last minute, these are definite qualities of a good salesperson, again, in my opinion. And I know this sounds like common sense, but I've seen it, like I said, numerous times, especially from younger people, that they're trying to get there right before the meeting. They can squeeze everything in. So just again, as an older guy telling you, be on time, be early, prepare, go the day before. Can't stress it enough. All right, so number 4 is relationship building. And this one, you really need to understand who you are and be who you are. I'm sure everybody has friends and good friends, and those friends like you for a certain reason. That's because you're not filtered at that time. You're just being yourself. And I can say that in sales, being yourself is just a huge quality. People will trust you. You come off as someone that's sincere, and that leads to trustworthiness, and it leads down that whole road. If you heard some of my other videos, it's all about relationships. But you need to build those relationships. You got to start somewhere. The part about trust, if you look at that old cliche, don't be a used car salesman, nothing against used car salesmen, but this is a cliche from the older times where you just didn't believe what the person was saying. They weren't honest. They weren't, you could feel that, it was a feeling you got. And that comes off. Be authentic, be yourself, be who other people like. And I would say you need to have some common interests. You want to start the conversations with the buyers. I always used to bring up some personal things about me, whether it was my children going to college or going to high school, or they were in wrestling or soccer, the trips we just took, and things that I was interested in doing. They always had something that falled over to that area. So then we had something in common to talk about. You're not just there for the sale. You don't want people to think you're just there for the sale. You want that relationship to become that type of friendship. So you got to find something in common. And it'll lead to funny stories. And, as my relationships got longer, people understood me better. They used to love my stories about travel. 34 years of traveling, I've seen it all. And people would say, just come in first and tell me the latest, greatest stories or pictures or whatever you saw that was crazy. My most famous story, and anybody would tell you, is I think it was 2018. I boarded a plane, and so did a 140 pound mini horse boarded the plane as well and was in the row behind me. And it was flies, and it was an hour and a half of just it was crazy, but there was a horse on a plane. So it became a great story. It became something that we all had in common. And that relationships will help you sell. It'll help bring you, no matter what it is, these relationships will go on for life. So now, number 3, listening. Really hard for a lot of people, especially early in their career. Do more listening than talking. I say many times I've seen salespeople who believe the more they talk, the more they were selling. And it's just the opposite. You will find that most people, especially buyers, they'll tell you what they need. You just have to listen. And talking over them or interrupting them, that is like crash and burn. Don't do that. Just sit back, do your pitch, tell them reasons why they need to buy this product or what they're doing, and then just listen. I guarantee you'll find out exactly what they need, which will tell you how to win the business, because you're there to serve them. Remember that. All right, let's get down to number 2. And that'll be do what you say you're going to do, and then make sure you do it, right? So following up and being tenacious about follow-up is really, really important. I'm sure everybody's had an experience where you were waiting for someone to call you back on something, whether it was a quote on a car or a quote on maybe your carpet in the house. And the person that got back to you is the person you probably gave the business to, rather than someone you had to chase. And the businesses of professional sales, they're not going to chase you. They have 8 other competitors you have. So that guy that is the most passionate about getting back and getting the information and being concise will win the business. So again, it's all about that relationship building, integrity, trust, but doing what you say you're going to do and doing it in a timely fashion is huge. And then number 1, which by far the most important, that's why it's number 1, is knowing what you're selling. There's nothing more obvious than a salesperson that doesn't know what they're selling. They don't know what their competitors are doing. They don't understand why a consumer buys this product and what retail it needs to be, and not knowing the idiosyncrasies of the product, what makes it better. If you don't know those things, you will not be successful. But I will tell you 100%, you need to believe in what you're selling. You need to be passionate about it. The more passionate you're about what you're selling, the better your chances of closing a deal. We all do this in everyday life. If you just went out and went to a great restaurant, or you just had a great product that you used, you're going to tell your best friends, you're going to tell your acquaintances, and you're going to be passionate about it because you really like it. This career and sales, it's that simple. My advice is, if you don't believe in it, do not sell it. It will come out. It'll be one more thing that may reflect on who you are as a person and how they judge you. And you won't believe in it, you can't sell it. You need to have passion and really understand what you're doing. So those are my 5 things, my list, if you want to call it, of what's made me successful. If you have any comments or you want to say what's made you successful, if you're out there and you're a sales professional, or if you're a younger person and you have questions, please put in the comments. I really like to know what people like to hear. And I appreciate you listening to all my mumbling. So have a great day, and we'll see you on the next video.